Welcome back to this year's Mississippi Association of Coaches Convention. Every year, it's always an exciting time, and for Tabitha Beard, our Associate AD at Oxford High School, but our co-activities director. We wear a lot of hats at Oxford. We'll get to that in a moment. But we were talking about how many years you've been in the system, how many conventions you've came to. I'm sure all of them are each special in their own way. You kind of view it a little bit different now than you did when you were younger.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. When you're coming here as a young coach versus an administrator a little later, it's really neat because I laughed the other day because I had to be here at 8:30 this morning to watch one of my former players, speak. And then some people that I've coached with and against, and I still look up to them, getting to see them that we don't always get to anymore now that I'm not really coaching anymore. So it's always good to catch up and to stay on top of some things and, just keep learning.
Yeah, you answered my second question. Someone like you that's been a leader, now even more of a leader as a co-athletic director along with Coach Ballman, how rewarding is it to see your players not only become coaches but be mentors kind of like you, and not only just in coaching but in academics or whether it be outside of the world of sports? I know that means a lot to you.
No doubt. It's so cool to watch strong women lead women and lead girls to become that. And I'm such a huge proponent of, raising these girls the right way. And, as females in this profession, and, I've never imagined I would be where I'm at. If you asked me what I want to do, I wanted to be a softball coach and I wanted to be a math teacher. And, as I grew and met some people and I saw, leadership in action and what that is, it's so cool to be able to see, the impact that you have on people, on girls to become women and the impact they're having on the world.
Just 20 years ago, as you know, when you came into the business, it would be very common to only see a handful of females, and they would probably be in specific sports. No leadership positions, not as many people of color. Now all of a sudden, you see so many females in your line of work as directors, as head coaches in multiple sports, so many people of color. It's a very diverse background here at the MAC, and it gets even more diverse every year. I know that's something that's very important to you.
It's amazing. I mean, like I said, just to see the growth of where we've come from, and just from, I was an assistant athletic director with Mike Martin for 2 years before I took over this role with Chris 4 years ago at Oxford. And just the first meeting when I walked into that room, there were 3 of us. And from then, now I walk in and it's amazing to see all the women there and to think about the impact that they're having on girls and to be able to look, because I never dreamed I would be an AD because I never saw a female in that role.
Yeah.
And, to be able to inspire women to step into that role and to take what they're born to do and to continue to lead women and girls into becoming successful leaders is very powerful thing.
You very quickly mentioned it's not just athletics, it's many hats that you have to wear. For people that aren't aware, Oxford High School built a beautiful facility in the northeastern part of the city, and so that encompasses even more responsibility, I'm sure, for you and your team. What are some day-to-day things that you have to do that maybe the normal athletic director doesn't have to do?
Chris and I are activities directors, and I can't say enough about there being 2 of us. It's pretty amazing, and I think one of the big dynamic is that he and I just work. We work really well together in a sense of we have a deep respect for each other and what we're trying to build. And, that's kind of fostered by great leadership in our superintendent who everybody, I look at our superintendent and our high school principal and our middle school principal, and everybody there has had a role in athletics at some point in their life. And they've inspired us to be great. So day to day, that extends. I mean, if you would have told me a few years ago that I would have been to cheer and dance camp this summer, I would have laughed at you. It's not something I did, but being able to be around women and be around females and help inspire them in football games, to soccer, to all the things that I never thought I would do. And now this year we are encompassing drama, and choir and orchestra are now under us in band. So, Chris played in the band. I knew nothing about that, but being able to be a part of those, not only sports, the athletic side of it, but the activities and watching kids just find their niche. That's the big thing, is that, not everybody's an athlete, but there's somewhere for everybody to fit in. Especially, Oxford is so blessed, with its size and being able to offer so much. And it's so cool to watch kids. I mean, we picked up wrestling, and some of the greatest stories and the greatest things that I've seen are those kids that really didn't fit into a sport, and then finding that niche, no matter what it is, it's really cool. And I think that's probably the coolest part of my job.
One thing that you pointed out a moment ago that I wanted to pass along is you guys don't have specific sports because you have so many things you do. I think that's really good, so everybody can kind of pitch in and learn from each other and evolve. One final thing before we go. Probably your 20th convention, somewhere thereabout.
Probably close.
Going back to when you first started coming to the convention to now, what are some things that you've learned? Or what are some things that you could pass along to maybe to younger people that are coming to the convention for the first time?
I think the biggest thing is don't be afraid to talk to people, because I think the biggest thing that I ever got from this clinic is the networks that I created with people that I never thought. I mean, from being a coach to an AD and sitting there watching, today I was in a softball session this morning where I watched, somebody that I coached and have known forever, sit there and present, and then I watched more people and around, and just being able to meet people and create those networks. And don't be intimidated. I mean, because I can remember like it was yesterday, the first one I came to, and I'm sitting there wide-eyed at all the people that I look around the room, and I've looked up to these people for so long, the Ashley Hicks of the world and the Leslie Lang, and those people that are just softball icons in my world. But no matter what sport you're in, reach out to people, communicate, build a network, and don't be afraid to ask questions when you have them. I think that everybody in the state, we're competitors, but at the end of the day, we're all leaders, and we're servant leaders at that. So we like to help each other and build those networks. So don't be afraid to do that.
She's Tabitha Beard, the co-activities director at Oxford High School, kind enough to give us a few minutes here at this year's Mississippi Association of Coaches Convention. Thank you very much, Tabitha.
Thank you.